Everyone wants to control you. Your boss wants to shape your obedience. Your parents want to mold your decisions. Your teachers want to define how you think. Even your friends, consciously or not, want you to fit into a version of you that makes them comfortable. Society itself is an invisible hand, rewarding submission and punishing independence. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago, that freedom is not granted, it's taken. And if he lived in our world today, he'd tell you this: to survive a world of manipulation, you must master it. Today, we reveal Machiavelli's 18 secrets for absolute authority, the principles of control that free you from control. Know what everyone wants, before they know it themselves. The first law of authority is understanding human desire. Machiavelli would say, power belongs to the one who knows what others crave. In today's world, that means reading people like open books. Your boss may pretend to care about teamwork, but what he really wants is recognition. Your parents may preach discipline, but they crave validation through your obedience. Your classmates seek popularity, not purpose. When you understand people's hidden motives, you gain silent leverage. In the office, it's the person who understands the manager's true goals, not their orders, who climbs fastest. In school, it's the student who understands the teacher's grading logic, not just the lessons, who wins top marks. Authority isn't about domination, it's about prediction. The one who sees through illusion dictates reality. 2. Stop seeking to be liked, seek to be respected. Machiavelli would look at today's social media culture and smirk. Billions of people compete for validation, drowning in likes while starving for respect. But he'd tell you the truth: if everyone loves you, no one fears losing you. In parenting, the overly kind parent is disrespected by the child they try too hard to please. In school, the student desperate for approval becomes the one others manipulate. In business, leaders who avoid conflict end up led by their subordinates. You don't gain power by being agreeable, you gain it by being firm. You don't need to be cruel, but you must be immovable. The moment you prioritize respect over likability, people start listening when you speak. In a world built on fake smiles, authority comes from boundaries, not charm. 3. Control information, never overshare. In the modern age, information is the currency of control. Every word you say, every post you make, every secret you reveal can and will be used against you. Machiavelli would say, power dies the moment your mind becomes public property. In the workplace, gossipers don't climb, they collapse. In school, oversharing turns into fuel for rumors. Even in families, the wrong confession can become ammunition later. Speak less than necessary. When people don't know what you're thinking, they can't manipulate you. Online, you can see it everywhere. People destroy their reputations by chasing vulnerability points, giving the internet the very tools to break them. Be mysterious. Let people assume. Silence isn't weakness, it's armor. When others expose themselves, you observe. The fewer words you give, the more powerful each one becomes. 4. Use people's expectations against them. People love to categorize. They'll label you based on one trait, then assume they know your entire nature. Machiavelli would tell you to weaponize that blindness. If they see you as quiet, let them, until the moment you make noise that changes the room. If they see you as naive, let them, until you reveal you were simply watching. The underestimated person is the most dangerous one in any setting. At work, play the slow learner until you deliver results that no one saw coming. In school, let your peers think you're average, then dominate when it matters. In business, make competitors underestimate your company until you disrupt their market. Surprise breaks control. it flips the power dynamic instantly. Authority isn't always taken, sometimes, it's earned through one moment of shock. 5. Learn to detach from emotion when power is at stake. Machiavelli knew, he who cannot control his anger cannot control anything. The modern world thrives on outrage, clickbait, emotional traps, political division. And every time you react, someone profits from your reaction. Detachment isn't about being cold, it's about being strategic. In parenting, the parent who screams loses authority, the one who disciplines calmly commands it. In school, the student who stays calm under pressure outperforms those who panic. In business, the negotiator who keeps his cool while others lose composure always wins the deal. Emotions cloud vision. Authority requires clarity. When you respond rather than react, you instantly rise above emotional manipulators. Don't fight fire with fire, starve it of oxygen. The calmest person in the room controls it. 6. Appear moral. Even when you're strategic, people crave the illusion of goodness more than goodness itself. Machiavelli would call morality a mask, not a virtue, but a tool. In the modern world, this is painfully visible. Politicians speak of justice while chasing power. Influencers preach humility while selling ego. Machiavelli would tell you to master this game. Appear kind, but act with precision. Show virtue publicly, but plan ruthlessly in private. In school, appear cooperative while quietly outworking your rivals. At work, act agreeable while maneuvering toward your own advancement. In business, maintain your image, because image builds influence faster than integrity. This isn't hypocrisy. It's adaptation. The world punishes raw honesty but rewards refined deception. Appear moral, even when your strategy is self-serving. The mask of virtue is a weapon the weak never learn to wield. 7. Reward loyalty, punish betrayal quietly. Machiavelli understood that loyalty and betrayal define the lifespan of power. Today, people confuse forgiveness with weakness. But he'd remind you, mercy without memory invites betrayal. When someone is loyal, reward them. Make loyalty profitable. But when someone betrays your trust, never let them return to your inner circle. You don't need to humiliate them, you simply erase their access, in the workplace. That means cutting out those who gossip or undercut you, not confronting, just removing. In families, it means not giving endless chances to those who repeatedly disrespect you. In business, it means replacing deceit with discipline. Real authority doesn't scream revenge, it whispers consequences. Those who cross you should feel your absence like a punishment. The silent withdrawal of your attention is more powerful than any outburst. 8. Build your own power source. Dependence is the invisible chain of control. Machiavelli would say, the dependent man cannot act freely. And in today's world, dependence is everywhere, financial, emotional, digital. If your job is your only income, you'll obey even the unjust. If your identity is tied to your relationship, you'll tolerate disrespect. If your happiness depends on likes, you'll never stop performing. To break control, you must build your own power source, your skills, your mindset, your independence. Learn to generate your own worth. Build an income that doesn't require permission. Develop confidence that isn't tied to applause. In modern society, freedom isn't rebellion, it's ownership. The person who owns their craft, their mind, and their money is untouchable. That's what Machiavelli would call true sovereignty. 9. Always be 2 steps ahead. Authority isn't built in reaction, it's built in foresight. Machiavelli's ruler never waits for chaos, he predicts it. In modern terms, that means thinking in probabilities, not surprises. In parenting, set expectations before rebellion begins. It's easier to guide than to correct. In school, study trends, not just topics. Anticipate what's coming. In the workplace, know your superior's next move before they even make it. That's how promotions are won. In business, foresee shifts in the market and move before others even notice change. Most people live one decision behind reality. They panic, complain, or freeze when plans collapse. But those who think ahead are never shaken. They expect the storm, an already built shelter. Machiavelli would call this mental positioning. The powerful don't adapt to change, they engineer it. Be the one who plays chess while others play checkers. See what's coming, and you'll never have to fear what arrives. 10. Never stop expanding your influence. Power dies in stagnation. Machiavelli would warn, if you stop expanding, others will expand over you. In modern times, this means always leveling up your skills, your connections, your reputation. In school, don't just get grades, gain influence. Be the person teachers respect and classmates follow. At work, don't just meet expectations, outgrow your role. In business, don't just make profit, build a brand that commands attention. Authority must grow or it dies. The moment you settle, someone hungrier replaces you. Continuous self-evolution is the only insurance against irrelevance. 11. Control the narrative, or someone else will. Machiavelli's genius lay in understanding perception. Power isn't only about truth, it's about story. In the digital era, this couldn't be truer. If you don't define yourself, others will define you. At work, silence can make you seem weak. Online, one rumor can rewrite your image overnight. So, control your narrative, craft your presence consciously. Speak when it matters. Appear in control, even when you're adjusting behind the scenes. People believe what they see, not what you intend. Appear certain, and others will follow your certainty. 12. Withdraw strategically, never emotionally. Sometimes, walking away is power. Machiavelli would remind you, never stay where your energy is wasted. Whether it's a manipulative friend, a toxic job, or an argument designed to trap you, exit strategically. In parenting, this means not arguing with defiance, setting consequences instead. In work, this means leaving environments that drain your ambition. In business, it means cutting projects that no longer serve your long game. Withdraw not as surrender, but as strategy. Every retreat should prepare a return. 13. Use silence as a weapon. Silence is feared because it cannot be read. In today's world of oversharing, silence is dominance. Machiavelli would use silence to unnerve enemies and attract curiosity. In conversations, pauses create pressure. Online, restraint creates mystery. At work, a silent pause after someone's proposal makes them doubt themselves. In family disputes, silence breaks the cycle of escalation. Silence commands respect because it implies control. Speak less, mean more, and watch people lean in to fill the void you create. 14. Turn pressure into power. The powerful aren't those without pressure, they're those who transmute it. Machiavelli would say, stress reveals rulers. In school, the pressure of competition builds competence. In work, the pressure of deadlines sharpens efficiency. In life, rejection builds resilience. Instead of avoiding pressure, channel it. Let stress be your training ground. When others break under it, you become unbreakable. The modern Machiavellian thrives under weight, because they know diamonds form the same way. 15. Master timing. Machiavelli knew that timing makes power effective. Say something too early, it's ignored. Too late, it's irrelevant. In business, timing turns ideas into empires. In relationships, timing transforms boundaries into lessons. In work, timing determines whether your effort is seen or wasted. Power isn't just knowing what to do, it's knowing when to act. Wait for the perfect moment, and strike once, cleanly, decisively. 16. Learn to be feared without being hated. Machiavelli's classic dilemma: is it better to be feared or loved? His answer still holds: it's safest to be feared without being hated. Fear is respect with boundaries. Hatred is fear without fairness. Earn authority through competence, discipline, and integrity. Be firm, but not cruel. At work, this means enforcing standards calmly. In parenting, it means setting consequences with control. In business, it means being decisive without arrogance. When people know you don't tolerate disrespect but reward effort, you become untouchable. 17. Make people need you. Paragraph 18, Machiavelli's ultimate principle: the one who is needed can never be replaced. In the workplace, be the one who solves problems no one else can. In school, be the person everyone turns to for clarity. In relationships, provide value that goes beyond surface affection. Dependence creates leverage, but control it carefully. Make people rely on your excellence, not your obedience. When they need you more than you need them, authority is natural. 18. Adapt or be eliminated. The modern world evolves faster than ever. Machiavelli would thrive here because he understood adaptability as survival. Those who resist change become slaves to it. The adaptable, however, ride the wave. Whether it's technology, culture, or business, adapt fast, act first, and think independently. Don't fear change, weaponize it. The future belongs to those who evolve faster than control can catch them. 19. Cultivate emotional immunity. The final stage of authority is emotional immunity, the ability to feel deeply but respond strategically. Insults, betrayal, and loss no longer sway your course, they refine it. Machiavelli would say, the strong aren't emotionless, they're emotionally trained. In life, you'll face manipulation, pressure, and envy. Don't resist them, learn from them. Let experience harden you, not hollow you. That's how power becomes permanent. The world is full of people trying to control you. But control is only possible if you play their game. Machiavelli's 8 secrets for absolute authority aren't just about domination, they're about freedom. The freedom to think, to act, to command your own life. Stop waiting for permission. Power doesn't come to the obedient, it comes to the prepared. If you're ready to stop being controlled and start taking back your power, subscribe, like, and share this video. Because knowledge is influence, and influence is power, but only if you act on it.